What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy John here, of course, to do a video, and it's gonna be on the NFL playoffs, a game that occurred yesterday, a game that has everybody talking, a game that had controversy, and a game that many felt a team was robbed. You know, human error is common in sports. Human error is common in everything. And things happen. Things happen in life, let alone in sports. I know it's never okay for a team to win based on technicality. I know it could be bad if a team, prevails and wins thanks to a referee's blunder or a bad call that was made in the game. These kind of things happen, folks. This just happens in the world of sports. It just happens in life, okay? Because we're all human and we all make mistakes, and sometimes we don't see things right then and there, and sometimes we don't make the proper calls in life, or we do things and we make poor judgment, before we think or something like that, and then we go back after the effect, and then we realize that oh, we were totally wrong for doing that, and it wasn't correct. It should have been this way, but it wasn't, because you can't take back what's been done. Whatever happens in the past happens. It's just one of those things. Okay, so the Cowboys, beat the Lions 24-20 in the wild card game on Sunday afternoon. Okay, but where the controversy comes in was in the fourth quarter. Okay, and it has everybody talking. Everybody's going crazy about this pass interference call that's just blowing up everywhere. It's blowing up on social media. It's all over Sports Center. Lions fans are venting their displeasure, their anger, their frustration, and angry people are just, going ballistic right now. They're just in disbelief. They don't know what to think about this. They're mad, they're angry, they're going off, they're ranting, they're doing all this kind of stuff, okay? And it's understandable that Lion fans are a bit disgusted and kind of, furious right now. That's understandable, because this uproar that's just created so much controversy for the National Football League. Now a league that's falling into the same category as the NBA, finally been blamed for being possibly rigged. Okay, now the league is being blamed, and people are saying that the NFL is rigged. Their referees are allegedly point shaving. You're hearing all these things, speculations, just people talking, okay, saying what the league has become, that they need to do a better job with their officiating, that the officiating's been poor in these playoffs, they have been deciding games and all that kind of stuff. You know what? The Lions had a 14-0 lead against the Dallas Cowboys in the first quarter. Okay, here's where I stand with this. Okay, all these people out here bitching and whining about, oh, that was a bad call. That was a very bad call. Okay, first and foremost, what happened was Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford threw an incomplete pass to his tight end Brandon Pettigrew. Okay, but Cowboys linebacker Anthony Hitchens, was flagged for the pass interference. Okay, but the referee picked up the flag and took away the penalty, what would have given the Detroit Lions a first down. And they would have been well in Dallas territory, where this could have just changed the whole complexion of the game. This could have just, this one play could have changed the entire game, and the Lions could have possibly beat the Dallas Cowboys, and it would have been another miserable moment in Tony Romo's career, and we would have talked about how the Dallas Cowboys failed again in the playoffs, and that would have been a controversy. That would have been the talk of SportsCenter and the talk in the sports world, that how the Dallas Cowboys again collapsed in the playoffs and blundered on the biggest stage in football. That would have been the talk. But instead, we're talking about how the Lions got robbed, how they got burned by this one bad call by the referee that was the correct call, but then suddenly an incorrect call after the referee picked up the flag. Now, here's the problem I have. Now, going back to what I was saying originally at first. The Lions had a 14-0 lead against the Dallas Cowboys. If you don't want the referees to decide the outcome, maintain the lead and don't wait until the fourth quarter to try to pull off a miracle. Okay, when you have a lead, you try to do everything you can to protect that lead. So you won't have to, worry about the referees possibly dictating the outcome of the game. Okay, if you're mad, if you're a Lions fan, or if you're, a Detroit Lion who's still bitter over the loss and disgusted and upset and don't know what to do right now because you felt your team was robbed, well, here's a message for you. Maintain the lead. Hold on to the lead, and you won't have this problem. You won't have to worry about the referees deciding the game in the fourth quarter. The referees probably did win the game. And yes, I do agree that it was pass interference. But what can you do about it? There's nothing you can really do about it. Because the referees, yes, they might have decided the game. And again, the Dallas Cowboys could have still won. There's no telling if the Lions would have even scored on that series. How do we know that? We can't determine that. Can we? No, not really. So we can sit here and try to debate this topic and whine and moan and bitch and complain. But at the end of the day, that's not going to change the outcome because the game's already decided. The game's over. The Dallas Cowboys are moving on. They're moving on to the divisional round to play the Green Bay Packers next week. So the whining and dwelling on a bad call is really not going to do anything. It's really not going to do anything. But I will say this, though. I will say this. The Lions blew an opportunity. And the Lions hurt themselves as well with a number of penalties in that game because they're a dirty team. They have the dirtiest defensive unit in the NFL, in the National Football League. Those guys are a bunch of dirty, arrogant pricks. They're dirty. The Ndamukong Suh is the anchor of that defense, and he's dirty. He is absolutely dirty, people. He's filthy. You seen what he did to Aaron Rodgers last week, and his ass should have been sitting out there on the sideline suspended. There's no way he should have been playing that game. But of course we know why he played that game, because the NFL again is doing whatever they can to have a competitive balance, and they want teams to have their best players on the field in the playoffs because it boosts ratings, for one, it boosts TV ratings, and it sells tickets because fans want to see stars. They want to see the best players on the field. They want the team's best product on the field. That's what they pay for. That's what fans are captivated by star players, okay? And the Ndamukong Suh is a star, even though he's an insubordinate, ruthless player, a guy who just doesn't give a rat's ass, who would stump somebody again and continue to think he can get away with it, because you know why? He hasn't really been punished. He hasn't really had a real punishment. He hasn't had a service suspension. He's been fined $75,000, I believe, something like that. What's that gonna do? He's already making millions. Do you think he cares about paying that money? He should have been sitting his butt down. But again, this is not about Ndamukong Suh. This is about a call that everybody is furious about, mad about, angry over. A call that cannot be reversed because the game is long over. The game is over. Now the Dallas Cowboys won the game. Is life fair? No, life is not fair at all. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys might have caught a break. Okay, and the Lions might have got robbed. They might have got robbed. Okay, those fans might feel like that they might feel like Ben Affleck came into AT&T Stadium and robbed them. Okay, they might just the Detroit fans might just feel this way. But I'm sorry, it is what it is, and it can't be changed now. It can't be changed now. And we can sit here and say, the whistle was blown and the call should have stayed the way it is. And even Fox NFL officiating, the expert for Fox, Mike, what's his name, Pereira or whatever, he called it BS. He basically came out and said it was a bad call. I think people do agree with that, I think they do understand this, that they feel that this was a bad call, but I mean, people think the NFL owes them an explanation now for this poor call, for this bad call. Ndamukong Suh says he's speechless. I didn't expect this outcome. Well, your teammates, your defensive comrades, had penalties that hurt your team as well. So you can't just put this all on just that one bad play by the officials. You cannot just do that. You cannot just do that. You cannot. I'm sorry. Dan Pettigrew said, I thought it was ridiculous, to be honest. He ran through me, pretty much, trying to get back to the ball. To me, it was obvious. Yeah, it might have been obvious, but hey, again, it is what it is. Okay, it really is what it is, people. Now, I understand that Stafford threw a pass to his tight end that bounced off the back of linebacker, Hitchens. I saw the play. I watched it at least good 5 times, so I understand the play, and it was pass interference. Okay, it was a ridiculous call. Okay, a ridiculous call that turned into a no call. That's ridiculous. Okay, that's absurd. It really is. But again, it's over, people. Dallas Cowboys won the game, whether you like it or not. They're moving on. And people can sit here and say, well, the NFL, they love the Dallas Cowboys. They want to see them win. That's America's team. They're going to give them whatever they want. They're going to give them whatever they want. Well, again, the Dallas Cowboys are one of the league's most popular teams. So, I mean, when you have one of the best teams in the playoffs, it does kind of, help revenue. It really does. It makes the playoffs relevant. It makes more. It boosts TV ratings. It's more people are tuned into the games when there's prominent teams in the playoffs. So maybe it did have something to do with that. But that's the world we live in, people. Especially when it comes to sports. I'm checking up out of here. I'll see you guys in my next video. I am out.